Hi, and welcome back to Week 2 against the Jaguars, Part 2. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about last week, Bud Adams giving the double bird to the Bills sideline. I think it's freaking hilarious. He got a $250,000 fine, which is just so funny. Do you have any thoughts on that?
This Bud's for you. Yeah, seriously retarded. Not smart at all.
I mean, it's like your team won 3. Wait, they won 3 games? Yeah.
Yeah, you just beat a 3-5 team.
It was hilarious.
It's like
really
that's like Ralph Wilson doing that, and that's a joke because he would never do that. He's a classy guy, and that Titans.
I don't know. He's old. He's old and crazy enough that he played.
They've both been in the league the same amount of time.
I would love to see Ralphie do it to Jerry Jones or Daniel Snyder. Them guys deserve it.
They're both founding fathers of the AFL. They need to, act better.
50 years of pent-up aggression, why not? After all, the Titans were the last franchise to actually make it to the Super Bowl out of the original 8 AFL teams. So.
All right, so now it's time for the question of the week, and it comes from Dev/Null, and he wants to know what our opinion is on what the next Bills coach is going to be.
If you ever hire a real coach.
We'll already hire a real coach, Ralphie, yeah. So what do you think?
Well, after Ralphie gets beat up by a couple of guys, and then kicked on the slide.
What?
A Christmas Story reference.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that rumor has it, as you were saying before, he's looking to hire somebody that's a football guy for the GM spot. And he's willing to spend some money. If you spend some money for a coach that's experienced, yeah, I'd be happy with that. I would love to see it happen, but Ralph is a notorious cheapskate. I wouldn't put it past him to hire Greg Williams again or something like that.
Oh wow.
No.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time he fired a guy and rehired him. He did that back in the 60s and 70s, I believe, Lou Saban.
Okay, what do you think?
I'm not sure. If Mike Shanahan comes in, they're talking to him about coaching, then I can see that there are a lot of good people out there that they probably need to look at, also. But I'm, at this point, middle of the season, I'm completely clueless on who they could bring in next year.
Or even later on in the season is like, hey, you got the full-time gig, especially if Fuel doesn't show to be the man. One thing I can say is we can start speculating a little bit here. Shanahan's already been talked to, according to Adam Schefter. I would love to see somebody like Bill Polian's son, Chris Polian, possibly be the next GM. Or how about bringing in Marty Schottenheimer as a GM and bringing his son, Brian?
It has to be a combination of a good GM and a good
coach. Yes, or a good guy that can do both, like a Holmgren who can do that.
Yeah.
And hey, Holmgren's available, Cowher's available.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Bill Cowher.
I don't think Gruden's going to come out of the booth. ESPN thinks he's going to be the next Madden. So they're paying him a comparable salary to an NFL coach just to be in the booth. I don't think he's going to go, but there's tons of coaches out there that are fresh out of the league at this point that have won the rings. They've won the trophy. The Bills have the pick of the litter just by getting rid of Dick at this point. So
I just want to point out here, as we said, that we were talking about in that before, the last coach that the Bills hired mid-season was Mark Levy. So that hopefully it pans out. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have a good running back, Reece Jones-Drew,
very safe quarterback.
The Titans did last year. They're on a 2-game winning streak. So what do you think is going to happen this week?
Especially since Fitzpatrick's starting, I just don't see it happening. I think Mojo Drew, Pocket Hercules, is going to run through our defense a little bit. If we had Fuel in during the bye week, I think we might have had a chance, especially with him being able to assess Edwards himself. as opposed to being thrown in the situation. But I just don't think it's going to work out that well.
Okay, so what's your take on the Jags?
I'm with you. We just got ran over last week by Chris Johnson. I think Maurice Jones-Drew is going to keep doing the same thing. David Garrard, he's been doing pretty decent the last couple of weeks. He hasn't lost any games for him.
He's very quietly dangerous.
Yeah, that's what you don't want the quarterback to lose a game. That's basically what he's been doing. He hasn't been super
He's a great manager. He's not a deep threat like a Kurt Warner.
Right, and with Torrey Holt on the team now, you got a receiver. So it's going to be an interesting game, but I don't think the Bills are going to be able to pull it out though.
All right,
I was going to say Torrey Holt. I think is more of a compliment to like a Reggie Williams, and Maurice Jones-Drew is a good check down option as well.
So we honestly don't think we're gonna win, and now it's time for the keys to the game. My key to the game is stopping the run. Mojo Drew, we gotta stop him. All right, what's yours?
I think we have to score. I mean, we've only scored 17, points the last couple of weeks, so I think we need to score.
All right, what's yours?
Well, I'm just going to say, can Perry coach? Is Perry going to be a good game coach, which Dick Duran definitely wasn't? So, can Perry do something that Dick couldn't and just coach on the game day? Fire him up.
All right, and now it's time for the picks of the game. My pick to the game is 31-10 Jacksonville. What's yours?
Mine, I'm going with 35-17 Jacksonville.
I'm going to say much lower score. I think Perry's going to have the defense at least fired up. And I think that they're going to make enough changes where they might be able to control the clock. Maybe half a game, maybe close to it. I'm going to say 7-3 Jacksonville.
All right.
I'm going to say, based on pregame shows I've seen last week in history of the Bills in the past few seasons, Jacksonville normally loses to teams that they should win against, so I'm going to say Buffalo, 24-20.
He's trying to catch up in standings.
All right. Just a little thing I want to say. This is a very critical time for the Bills. If we do not get this right, the coach, the GM, the whole front office, it's going to be another 5 to 10 years of losing, and by that time we'll probably have lost the team.
And paper bags over our
7
heads.
to 9 seasons.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us this week. Join us next week for the fish.